What's up, guys? It's Moist Doomical here, and what I'm showing you right now on screen, this is a Discord scam. So I just want to talk about this real quick because honestly, I'm way too lazy to edit anything else right now. I've been doing things. There's not many things in this world that genuinely make me upset, but I'm going to tell you right now what some are. Number one, we have Jared Leto as the Joker in Suicide Squad. I just think that was outrageous and never want that to happen again. Number two, high school animes. That should be self-explanatory unless you're just weird. And number three is scammers, which that's what we're talking about right now today. And now this story starts as per usual. This guy I hadn't messaged since April of this year. He's like, oh, hey, sorry, but I accidentally reported your Discord account, blah, blah, blah. He sends me this email right here of supposedly Discord emailing him saying, you've reported We Slay 'em. And I was like, wow, that's weird. And I keep reading. It's like, oh, it says that this user has multiple reports of spreading malware and viruses. I was like, that can't be right, because last time I remember, I don't think I did that. So immediately I thought something fishy was going on, because who would report me for that? And why did this guy accidentally report me? Because like I said, we haven't talked since near the start of this year. So I don't even know why he would scroll all the way down. Because apparently he made some excuse, which we'll see later. But I just thought this was weird because it looked very real. I hadn't seen anything like this before. But now, here, we're going to go on to the second part right here. So basically, the email said that my account was, quote-unquote, in the process of being banned. And I'm like, oh, well, can't you just email them if it was a false report, if it was an accident? He was like, I already filed the follow-up statement. They agreed. He's like, he made it really seem like I was under surveillance, but like I said, if it's obviously a false report, Discord's not going to go out of their way to find someone, survey them, especially with no evidence they did anything. So my suspicion kept adding on, and it was actually getting ridiculous at this point. So I got suspicious, and I asked him, okay, well, do you know where we met? And he was like, oh, well, in the middle of this very serious matter. And so I said, yeah, because obviously if we know each other and he's not just some scammer or hacker or whatever you want to call him, he should obviously know where we met. But also the guy I talked with, I haven't talked to him since April. I don't even remember where we met. So I was just seeing if he said anything. He's like, oh, I can't think straight. And it's like, what do you mean you can't think straight? Like, even if this was real, you don't go into a fucking panic attack because you accidentally reported someone's Discord. Like, holy shit, no, what am I gonna do? Some innocent man's gonna get stricken down by Discord's law because of me. Discord still has predators on their app openly. Like, there are so many users who get called out for being predators and doing bad things to kids. I doubt We Slay 'em and this debacle of false accusations gonna get to them. Like, oh, you fucker. Listen. Once we eventually get to the weirdos who are doing bad stuff to children, we're coming for you. This ends now, buddy. So we talk a little bit so I earn his trust, not make it obvious I'm fucking with him. And then he keeps saying my account's going to get suspended. And I'm like, every time I ask him something, did you read the report? Did you read the ticket? Did you read it? And I was like, yeah, my account isn't suspended. And he's like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, suspended and suspected are entirely different words. Do you even know what you're talking about? Recently, I was in this argument with some weirdo who was online stalking a girl on Twitter I know. And I don't use Twitter much. I just pop in every once in a while, just see what's going on with my friends. And then I just log out, and then I just do whatever for the rest of the day. And this guy, I don't know. They say they're 16. I have a lot of doubt, because their sentences are like the worst thing imaginable. I would put like something on the screen, but it's just like, you asshole, I'm gonna get you. Something like that. Like, imagine that, but like the worst grammatical way ever, if you possibly can. But it was absolutely ridiculous. Their grammar is actually so bad that Twitter actually marks them in replies as a possible bot. And I don't know why. I just think, like, if you can't see the difference between two obvious words, then we have an issue. Also, this guy's grammar is absolutely nothing like how he was before in April. So, this might just be a scammer. Just a little thought, though. So he says yes, which I incredibly doubt. And he reacts to me saying that those are two different words, saying, yes, that's why you need to do your appeal. So I ask him, what do you think of The Dark Knight Rises, which was released in 2012? After you answer, I'll do it. And he says, what did I think? Like what? So I said, yeah, because I want to know what he thinks of The Dark Knight Rises, released in 2012. And he says, stock exchange? I should have known. That damn Riddler. If I don't see the Riddler coming in the new Batman adaptation, is not just a huge crypto bro, I'm going to be very upset. But anyways, I said, like, surely you've seen The Dark Knight Rises released in 2012, right? And then he just has this entire abomination of a statement real quick. Let me read it out for you real quick. Now this man says, and I quote, "It was fun, but my body and bladder was in pain at the end. I don't think I could ever do that again. Plus, it was night of the Aurora shooting, and we were 20 miles down the road from the theater. When we left, there was cops crawling all around the place, and we were confused as hell until we..." And the statement ends there. We'll never know what he said. But I don't know about you guys, but I don't remember any of that happening in The Dark Knight Rises. But I haven't seen the movie in a while, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, of course, after that, I just respond, what? That didn't happen in Batman at all. Because, honestly, unless Joker pulled a Dr. Doofenshmirtz and has his pissinator out, I highly doubt that movie did anything to your bowels. At all. But anyways, he just says, did you watch the full video? Can't we talk about this later? I say no, now. He says, I'm really scared of your account. I just tell him, I take Batman very seriously. Now, to him having horrible grammar and saying I'm scared of your account, I tell him, don't be. It doesn't bite. And he says, but you need to make an appeal before it's too late. And I say, well, after Batman is discussed. It's very important. And he says, after you've done the appeal, we will discuss. Now, to that, I tell him, no, Batman comes first. And he says, nah, with 2 A's. You have limited time to fix that one. I don't want to be banned, or I don't want you to be banned because of me. But it's up to you. And I said, if you want to help that badly, then tell me what you thought of The Dark Knight Rises, released in 2012. Because honestly, this is just ridiculous at this point. I don't know, like, he never picked up at all that I could have been fucking with him, except for later, but that's spoiler territory. Let's just keep going. Now, to him saying thought, I said, yes, Batman. He says, great, but not excellent. I do consider it be the weakest of that trilogy, but still quite good. Opening scene with Bane is fantastic. I said, you don't like The Dark Knight released in 2012? He says, 50-50. Absolute blasphemy. Absolutely. So then, I of course have to ask him the most Dark Knight question ever. What do you think of Heath Ledger's Joker? And this should be an easy answer from anybody, really. So then he says, can we discuss that later? And I say, I already told you. I take Batman very seriously. First this. And then he just goes on this rambling, blah, blah, blah. You need to make an appeal. You're going to get banned. Which, spoiler alert, this does not end dramatically in my account getting banned or suspended or anything. He's currently spamming me at Doom1Beer, which, by the way, who the hell adds people in DMs? Little suspicious right there. But just to make sure he's not some weird Jared Leto fan and not a scammer, I had to go in a little deeper. So now to try and wrap this up quickly, I just said, I want to discuss Batman first. You must tell to the greatness as The Dark Knight Rises released in 2012. And I pretty much just tell him, just simply answer and we'll do the appeal and tell me what you think of Heath Ledger's Joker. Because honestly, this guy was trying so hard to get me to do this appeal. Which, by the way, in case it wasn't obvious already, if someone messages you on Discord with a fake email saying you got reported, trust me, Discord would tell you anything involving that. He also made some excuse earlier saying, oh, Discord wouldn't notify me for some reason. But yeah, if you get pretty much what the hack is, from what I've read, is they tell you to add this person, give you this code. If you do that, they get access to your account. I don't know how. I don't know why. I guess they're just a bunch of low-life losers, which would explain why they might be Jared Leto fans. But here, let's get more into this. And now he says, it's special because I don't see Heath Ledger. Not even a little bit. Or rather, I don't see any of his past roles. All I see is the Joker. Not straight ripped from the comics, but the closest live-action portrayal to get it right. Other actors, unfortunately, I see Jack and Jared, and I'm not going to attempt to say that name, Joaquin, in their performance. I see them playing the Joker. With Heath, he was the Joker. It's hard to explain. That was the best I got. And I completely agree. Heath Ledger quite literally was the Joker. If you hear anything about behind the scenes or even like what made him pass away, he very much was the Joker. And honestly, that's why him as the Joker always he's always going to be the best because he wasn't playing the Joker. He quite literally was the Joker. Honestly, huge rest in peace there. But also, I came to notice that every time I asked him, what'd you think of this? What'd you think of that? He just did this giant abomination of words. And honestly, I think this is how it feels when you're talking to someone with Google Translate. Because whenever you type in this, it looks nice to you. But then you translate it and, oh, you just called me a slur? You asshole. But anyways, luckily he didn't do that here. But then it hit me. Something preposterous that might show this is a scam. Because then I reread that and I was like, did you just acknowledge Jared Leto as the Joker? Yes, why? To that I say he was a horrible Joker, which I should have emphasized on that, because that's not even enough to say. He says, yes, I know. Can we do the appeal? I said, first one more questions. Or question. Sorry. Reading this guy's grammar, along with the other guy I mentioned earlier, has absolutely killed my brain. But anyways, I'm not going to go into a rant, but now, at this point, I came to two conclusions. Either this guy was an absolutely horrible scammer who's translating everything or just doesn't know at all what he's saying or just using ChatGPT. Or he's a Jared Leto fan, which honestly would be way worse. So now to catch him in his ChatGPT act, I say, yes, after my question, have you played any of the Arkham games? And then he says, what kind of Arkham games? Now I might be a little stupid, but I know the Arkham games are not a genre. So I said, Batman Arkham City, released in 2011, released 1 year before The Dark Knight Rises, released in 2012. And he says, yes, why? What do you think of it? Batman Arkham City, released in 2011, just so he knows what I mean. And now we're reaching the final stages, anime arc, because he says, bro, and I put question mark. He says, I can't think straight right now, as I said, which I did mention before. And I say, think diagonal or something, obviously not being serious whatsoever. And he says, if you don't make an appeal, that's your choice, but you know what happens to you next. And I say, you never answered my question. Honestly, that whole ending statement he made right there reminds me of that one video I referenced earlier, where it's the one guy pointing at the cameraman saying, this ends now. If I find the video, I'll put it right here before the next clip.
Pop, it ends right now. Oh, what ends? What ends? Wait.
Bro said that like a super villain. Bro said, it ends right now.
So then I said, you never answered my question. I said, after, then I'll do that. He said, I'm done. So I got to reel him in real quick, say, why, can you help? Help what? Appeal? I already said that. So it's at this point where I'm just trying to end this. So I just say something really stupid. He says all that, and I'm like, will I get Robux as compensation for the error? Because most likely, this is probably a 72-year-old man, a little stuck on his luck, who has no idea what even the platform Roblox is. And so I kind of dragged it on a little bit. This isn't much. He sends me the guy's user again. I say, answer my question. And, yes, you can read the rest. So I react to the message. He says, I'll give you once the appeal is done. Is that good? I say, so yes to Robux? He says, yes. Make an appeal. I'll be back in a minute. And so I say, and how many of the ram darns will I get? And then he just stopped responding for a little while. I don't know where he went. So then he tagged me again in DMs. And honestly, I just want to get this over with already. So I say, I want 500 ram darns. He says, okay, bet. So I do the appeal. I get 500 ram smacks? Bet. Okay, how do I do it again? Honestly, I don't think this guy even remembers a single word I'm saying. So blah, 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 he says, report this, that you got to send this guy a request number. And I just tell him, I have trouble reading. Can you remind me? Which I think he believed, even though we've been messaging this whole time. And so he asked, do you want me to copy and paste the username of the support? So yeah, he does that. Obviously, I'm not going to add him. So now I'm playing even dumber. I said, I can't find anyone with the name here. Literally the word. He says, this one. We're looking at the name again. I said, oh, okay. And after this, I get the Racknacks? Oh, my fault. I said, how will I be receiving the Racknacks? And he starts getting annoyed, like, oh, So many questions. Just do the appeal already. Which, by the way, this guy, such a good man, so determined to help me not get my account banned. By the way, it's been like 6 hours. I don't think I'm getting banned anytime soon. So then I say, first answer my question, please, this, yes, the rang dangs. And he just says, as I said, after the appeal, which was not the question I asked. So then I say, but how? He says, once it's fixed, I will send you and we'll talk about that after the appeal. I said, and you said 2,000 rang meringues, right? After the appeal? He said, bet. This started off as 500 Robux. Now it's 1,000 ramadangs. So then he says, yes, bet. Shows me he's very serious. How do I add the support again? He says, did you one beer? Did you add the support? Did you add the support? And somehow this doofus actually believed I was using the restroom, even though I was clearly ghosting him to get these screenshots. I'm done. You know what happens next. Oh no, this can't be. Then it says, I have one more question, no biggie. And then he misspells what, and I say, once I finish the appeal, will you be able to bring Michael Jackson back from the dead? And he says, what type of dumb question is that? When I was in kindergarten, they told us there is no such thing as a dumb question. I guess this guy, whose name I will not say, he must really be above teachers, which honestly, crazy to me, because it doesn't even seem like he has a first grade education in English. So I immediately respond, saying, no, I can assure you I'm human, not a troll. He says, I don't want to force you making an appeal. It's up to you. I'm done giving you a heads up. Which, still, once again, not how Discord works. But, obviously. By the way, he said gotta go like 5 times during this, and he's still doing it as I edit this. But I'm not adding the new stuff because I just want to get this video out already. So anyways, I say, once you answer the question, I'll finish the appeal. He says, how can I answer that dumb question? You think I'm the Lord? I don't know. We haven't spoken since April. And don't call me dumb. That isn't nice. After all, you called Jared Leto the Joker. Which honestly, you gotta admit, that is probably the dumbest thing you can do. It's not even objectional. It's just, if you acknowledge Jared Leto as the Joker in that movie, that's probably the dumbest thing you can ever do. I don't think, like those compilations of, like, children falling down and crying? That's arguably dumber than that. So obviously I say that's way dumber. He said sorry. I said, don't worry, I forgive you. But still, I would like a yes or no to my question. And he says, you need to name an appeal right now so we can talk straight. And then he said, or I said after my question. Honestly, I was like, please, I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. And if I'm being honest, I think this guy is hiding the truth through immortality. Because honestly, I think he could. Who knows? So he says, but how? He says, if I'm the God, I will bring MJ back into this world. Yes, I say, you really will? He said, yes, why would not? Now, honestly, that is live confirmation of the Bible too. And when it drops, if this guy becomes God, he's reviving MJ. He has my vote. So then I said I'll do the appeal after a quick bathroom break. I digested a lot of dragon fruit. My stomach is in intense, big amounts of pain. It says, you need to make it right now, blah, blah, blah. And I say, not until I'm done with my bathroom break. I don't want the FBI watching me again. But anyways, in case you didn't know, I just learned this morning, actually. Yeah, if you ever think of consuming dragon fruit just cause, don't do it. It turns out it's like a natural laxative, and it will very much make you have the urge to use the restroom due to how much fiber is in it. So, probably don't chug it down in a large glass because you're thirsty. Not speaking of experience or anything, I'm just like saying, don't do it. Wouldn't be very good for you. And now, as a wise man once said, everything must come to an end at some point. Isn't that actually what they said? I just forgot the quote before I hit play. But anyways, this guy tells me, stop messing around, I'm being very serious. I tell him, sit in the restroom real quick. I lied. I didn't go to a restroom during this entire conversation, but he didn't know that. Honestly, this was interesting. When I saw that fake email, I was like, wow, that looks so real, I might actually get banned. But then I ended up going to the holy place of the internet, Reddit. And turns out this type of scam has been around for over a year now. I don't know if it disappeared for a while or what, but yeah, people are getting their accounts hacked. So I guess be safe. Don't fall for idiotic things. And if someone messages you randomly that you haven't talked to at all, and it's like, oh, I accidentally clicked on your profile and did this, don't do it. They're a filthy liar. Anyways, that's all from Moist Doomical. See ya.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.